Day 48. I'm reading Reader Come Home by Marianne Wolf, page 178. Limitations, hurdles, and reasons for optimism. If we as a society want to build learning environments that promote a beliterate brain, we have to step up to the plate and deal with three large issues. First, from my perspective as a scientist, we need to invest a great deal more research about the cognitive impacts of both print and digital mediums on all our children, particularly those with reading challenges, whether environmental or biological in origin. Second, from my perspective as an educator, we need to invest in more comprehensive professional training. Most teachers, a full 82%, have never been given training in the best uses of technology for children from kindergarten to grade 4, much less how to teach good online reading skills to different kinds of learners. Third, from my perspective as a citizen, we must confront the access gaps that exist in our society and the world and work to eliminate them. The first hurdle, research on impact. There is precious little research comparing how different mediums affect learning to read in students who have individual differences, the thousands who are failing. The seriousness of the current reality means that at the present rate, the majority of 8th grade children could be classified as functionally illiterate in a few years' time. They will read, but they will not read proficiently or think and feel sufficiently about what they read. The hybrid approach to the building of a beliterate brain needs to be far more carefully developed for grade K to 12, with these non-proficient children in the center of our sights. This requires long-term, rigorous research, beginning with studies directly confronting the specific impacts on children's attention and memory of different mediums. The effects of the exponentially increasing time spent on digital devices with its concomitant increases in distraction, the escalating potential for addiction among our youth, and the already noted decline in empathy among young people. We need a thorough understanding of what is optimal for diverse learners at each stage of their development. We need parents, educators, and political leaders to demand such studies. We need publishers and designers to create digital innovations that are as cognitively successful as they are engaging. And we need empirical proof that this is so. The second hurdle, professional training and development. If 2/3 of American children are having difficulty becoming proficient readers in just one medium, what are the odds that this will work in two? Will beliteracy prove yet another class-based obstacle to their success? How can teachers be given responsibility for yet another impossible charge? There are more reasons to be optimistic now than at any previous time. First, we know from the new research that there are 6 or 7 basic profiles of early readers, masking the identification of readers far easier to access far earlier. We know from the new research that there are 6 or 7 basic profiles of early readers, making the identification of problem readers far easier to access far earlier. Teachers can then better tailor their teaching to different children's needs. In the near future, digital media could change the entire trajectory of learning and teaching. For example, most children with dyslexia require up to 10 times as many exposures to the letter-sound correspondence rules and common letter patterns of English than a teacher in a room of 25 children can easily provide, whatever the grade. For those children, the use of the digital medium would be game-changing. Think what would happen if those struggling readers could practice letter patterns and rules before other children in the class, either the day before or the same morning. Given that children with reading challenges can easily feel that something is wrong with them, using a digital medium in this way could provide the multiple reiterations they need and potentially display their frequently undiscovered creative strength, thus diffusing the negativity that children with dyslexia frequently unfairly endure. Further, there are children who will never be good screen readers and will always prefer print and vice versa. A fascinating study by Julie Coiro looked at the preference for reading by 7th graders. Her most thought-provoking result was that the highest performing print readers were often the lowest performing online readers, and the converse. Whether this finding already reflects the emergence of two different reading circuits in older children today or an underlying learning differences, it is very possible that some children with dyslexia are better served by becoming digital readers early on. Certainly, the use of digital technology to provide them with maximum exposures to the sound, grammatical functions, and meanings of the words they read in various texts, all to be learned in their own sweet time, would be a great advantage for teachers and students alike. For slightly older children for whom learning to read continues to be a struggle, and for whom books have become dreaded entities, digitally interactive books and recorded audiobooks, as well as carefully chosen video games, are effective complementary media. Indeed, the expanding research on video games suggests that some children's successes on these games not only increases their visual attention and eye-hand motor skills, but unobtrusively encourages learning to read when doing so is necessary to win games. The neuroscientist and school director Gordon Sherman and his teaching staff at Newgrange School use all manner of digital tools to capture and sustain the attention of their older students with a range of learning challenges. When I visited the school, Gordon led me to the music lab, where I was presented with one of the most beautiful compositions by a young person I have ever heard, created with GarageBand. Tapping into the intrinsic creativity of our diverse learners may be one of the greatest contributions made by educational technology today. Nothing about this is easy, as the implementation of educational technology in U.S. classrooms has shown. Meta-analysis of studies investigating the integrated use of various digital devices in the classroom show significant but only modest positive effect in reading, math, and science achievement for elementary and high school students when compared to traditional classrooms. This is not due to lack of interest by teachers. As noted by publishing executive Rose L. Mitchell, a 2017 survey on the use of educational technology indicates that 2/3 of U.S. teachers are actively using some form of technology in their classrooms, but feel the need for more support and training. In all likelihood, the lack of impressive result to date in the use of digital media in the classroom reflects multiple factors. The cognitive impact of the digital mediums that we are only beginning to understand, the lack of professional training and support for our teachers, and finally the great lumbering elephant in all educational research with technology, the digital access gap. Okay, I should stop here. Thank you so much. Please correct me if you can. Bye.